Popka here, welcoming you back to another episode of Viridian Flashback. Say, do you remember when vampires didn't suck? Okay, bad pun aside. Vampires aren't as fearsome as they used to be like they were a few years ago. Now they seem to be more romanticized and CW-fied. And of course, who can forget these? Ugh. Thankfully, vampires for the most part have been left alone in video games, and in fact, thanks to gaming, we've seen some really cool ideas pop up, like cowboys and vampires. Yeah, I said it. And no, that second Blood Rain movie doesn't count. Go away. Now, instead, what I'm going to be talking about is the subject of today's episode, Darkwatch. Released on August 16th, 2005, developed by High Moon Studios and published by Capcom, Darkwatch tells the story of Jericho Cross, a wanted outlaw with a love of robbing trains. When you start the game, Cross is about to rob his biggest train yet, not knowing that it belongs to the titular group, a society devoted to ridding the world of vampires. When Cross detonates the safe, he accidentally releases the dark vampire lord, Lazarus Malkoth.
Hold it right there. Take it easy, partner. You got no clue what you're into. There's no gold in that vault. Oh, to hell with it. No! Sweet mercy! What have you done? Oh my god.
While trying to save Cassidy Sharp, a Darkwatch member who was guarding the safe, Lazarus instead bites Cross, cursing him to be a vampire. With Cassidy's help, as well as Shadow, Cross's horse, whom he turned, yes, you heard me right, a vampire horse. You set off to the Darkwatch capital to join the crusade, defeat Lazarus, and save your soul from eternal damnation.
Lazarus is cursed, Jericho. There's nothing you could have done. It's not your fault.
Okay, so the story seems to be really good, blending gothic horror and a Wild West motif and pulling it off very nicely. Let's see how the gameplay fares. Darkwatch is a first-person shooter with a gameplay style very similar to Halo, and seeing that this is on Xbox, that means the controls are great and easy to pick up for everybody. As you play through, you'll come across your standard arsenal of weapons to take out the various creatures of the night. You've got a pistol, dual pistols, shotgun, carbine rifle, sniper rifle, and more. If I had any gripes with the weapons, it's the fact that the pistol and the dual pistols are considered two different weapons and don't share ammo, meaning you can't pick up one for the other. It's a personal gripe and not game-breaking. Otherwise, the guns look and work awesome, with that medieval western combo appearance giving off a kick-ass vibe.
Watch out!
While playing through the story, you'll have to make choices that will determine the path Cross will walk down during his cursed journey. For example, you'll come across a girl who became an unfortunate victim of Lazarus. You can either suck out the venomous blood and save her soul from damnation, or turn her and feed your thirst. Doing either of these gains you a vampiric power, depending on which choice you make. These powers range from extra gun or melee damage, shields, or throwing projectiles like lightning. Very useful. An interesting mechanic to the game that can hinder you is the power of the sun. No, not that sun, damn it, sunlight. If Cross enters sunlight, he becomes mortal and can't use his powers or regenerate health, rendering him vulnerable until he returns to the darkness. A lot better than just ashing or whatever vampires do now. Son of a bitch.
And you can recover.
By far, one of my favorite parts of the game is the sections when you ride on your vampiric steed Shadow. The gameplay here is an on-rail shooter very close to the game classic Panzer Dragoon. You have infinite ammo in all directions to fire in, so go at it and kill as many undead as you can. On the multiplayer side, you had your typical team deathmatch capture the flag modes that was playable in split screen and of course on Xbox Live, but we all know how that goes. Normally I'd wait till the end of the episode to tell you what other systems the game is on, but for Darkwatch I'm making an exception. The game is also available on PlayStation 2, but it didn't have online multiplayer like the Xbox does. Instead, it had something that the Xbox version was missing, a co-op campaign where you and a friend could play through the story together. Why this was taken out of the Xbox version is beyond me, but if that's more your gig, then you probably want to go with the PlayStation 2 version. Okay, back to the Xbox love. It's a good thing that Darkwatch has all of these elements packed into a perfect, tightly controlled game. Otherwise, it just would have been another average shooter. One thing is for sure though, the presentation truly delivers. Graphically, the game is pretty good, with great level design giving off a wild Gothic West feel. The character models are well done also, with the enemies having a unique look to them and the human characters looking appropriate for the time period. Speaking of characters, it should be noted that Cross's partner Tala is one of the first video game women to be featured in Playboy, so that's something. Audio-wise, the music is superb, blending horror and spaghetti western music straight out of a Sergio Leone film. Hell, they even remixed the theme from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly for the title screen. Just take a listen. With voiceovers, they're okay, with the big standout being Tala, voiced by Rose McGowan. Although, sometimes her dialogue sounds like it's for something completely different than this game.
Giddy up, cowboy. My name's Tala. Let's mount up.
So that's Darkwatch. Is it worthy to be in your Xbox collection? It most definitely is. Even though it didn't change the way we played shooters, it still is a fun romp that shouldn't be missed. At the time of this episode, it was going for about $30 new and $5 to $6 used on Amazon excluding shipping. And you know what I always say, if you can go for used, go for used. It's a shame that Darkwatch didn't take off the way it should have. There was a sequel in the works for the 360 and PlayStation 3, as well as a film adaptation, but sadly both of these were canned. Like Jade Empire, Darkwatch is a game that had so much unused potential. Truly sad. Well, as always, I'm the Dolly Popka, and if you want to play retro, try Going Green. Now if you excuse me, there's something I need to do. See you next time.
Hey! Hey! What are you doing with my Twilight book?
What God told me to do, dear.